Hello and welcome to the second lecture of section 2. In this lecture we will go hands-on and learn to add IAM user and group. And after creating the user, we will access AWS console using the newly created user. So here we are in my AWS console. I have just logged in, and under this security, identity and compliance, I'm clicking this IAM service. Okay, as we don't have any users or groups as of now, it's showing us 0 over there. And security status, it's better to have 5 out of 5. So right now, since this is a new account, we still need to go for, to achieve this green on green, we need to go for this users groups, and we need to complete these steps as well. We will see this later on gradually. So for the time being, you focus on this create individual IAM users and use groups to assign permissions. Add users. Add user. We'll give it a name. For example, my user. We will require AWS management console access. Yes, we will check this out. And then we have this auto-generated password or custom password. We'll go for custom password. So make a note of this password because you will require this while logging in. Require password reset. So for the time being, we don't need this. If I am doing this, it means while logging in, it will ask me for a password reset. So just ignore this and uncheck this box. Even if you are leaving it as it is, it's not a problem. Next, permissions. Set permission for my user. So as we have already seen in the theory part, permission can be assigned via a group or it can be directly attached to the user. So it's always better it's a good practice to assign permissions via group. So let us create one group. As there is no group, we are not shown with any group, but once we are having a group, the groups will be displayed over here. So for this, now let us create a group. We can name this as admins. So whoever is here, they will have administrative privileges. We will search out for policy which is related to administration. Okay, so here we are administrator access. This first one, administrator access. So provide full access to AWS services. We'll go with this create group. So we have a group over here, admin, which we have created just now. Now we can review this, and this attached policy is shown over here, administrator access. Next, review. So the name of the user which I have given, it is shown over here. Access type, AWS management console access with a password, console password custom. So whatever I have entered, it's shown over here for a review. Now I will go on and click users. Create user. So success, it means the user is created successfully. We will close this. So here we are again back to users dashboard, and see my user is here and the groups is it's inside admins group. Last activity none because this is newly created. password is today, it has been created today. Access key none, we have not provided programmatic access, so it's showing us as none. Now how to access AWS console using this user? So to access this, we have this IAM user sign in link. Can you see this? HTTPS something signin.aws.amazon.com/console. We can copy this, copy to clipboard, copy it, and so here we are in another browser window. I have pasted the URL that I have copied just a while back from IAM console, and account ID, it has been populated automatically. IAM username, so the name that we used was my user. Password, whatever password you have given, you should type it here and sign in. Okay, so my user, we have been logged in, and since it's this user has administrative privileges, so it has it can access, or it can do almost everything that a root user account can do. We will check this IAM. So I have in just a while back we have seen that this create individual IAM users and this user group, they were showing warning symbols just like this, but now it's green. So we have got our security status as 3 out of 5. So these are basically best practices, recommended best practices. So these are just a kind of reminder that you should follow these. These are not mandatory. And the number of users also has been increased to 1. Groups has been increased to 1 as well, because we have 1 users and 1 group. Now I am again back to my root account. You can see here, and we can see the same number of users, groups, etc. have been increased to 1. This is also green over here. In users and groups section is green. Now if you want to limit this administrative group, you can go ahead and you can detach the policy. Permissions, just will check the permissions. You can detach policy from here. Okay, so if you want that, no, I don't want to give administrative privilege to this group, go ahead, detach policy and click detach. Now there are no policy attached to this group. So we have a user, we have a group, but this group doesn't have any policy. Now let us go back to this, and where we have logged in previously. This is my user. Let us check if it can access. See, now it cannot access anything over here because it doesn't by default, as we have discussed in the theory part, that by default any user doesn't have any permission. He can just log in but cannot do anything until unless policy is defined. You need permission. Let us check. Going to EC2. So this is expected actually, and in accordance with the principle of least privilege, we are unable to access or we are unable to perform any action over here. Now let us go back to our root account. Okay, here we are in groups section. In groups we can create a new group. Okay, this is quite simple. We have seen this while creating users. We have created the group, but we can directly create a group as well. My new, or let us call it HR group. Next step, you can apply filter over here. So for example, S3 read only. S3 is our AWS storage, simple storage service. So HR, whoever is in the HR group can access S3. You can store documents in S3, so it would be useful for them. Next step, create group. So now HR group is there, but HR group has no users. Now let us come back to users. We will create a new user, add user. Let us write this as HR1. AWS Management Console access. Next, custom password. You must note down this password for your reference. Require password reset? No, it's not required. Click next permission, and we will add this into HR group. So this is shown over here in HR group, and attached policy is Amazon S3 read only access. Next, review. Click review. Create user. So it has been successfully created. Close it. Now we are having two users, my user, which we had created earlier, and HR1, which we have created just now. HR1 is inside HR group. So this HR1, now how he or she can log in, we have already seen over here in dashboard. We should go to dashboard. We can copy this and just we will log off this user, sign out, paste this URL again, the user was HR1, password whatever you have entered you should provide over here and sign in. Okay, see HR1 is now signed in. Can HR1 access EC2? Let us see. No, he is not authorized to access EC2 because he has permission only for one service, and that is S3, that is storage service. Can he access this? Yes, he is able to access. He can create, he can check what is inside this bucket. Okay, so this is how it works, groups and users. We'll go back to our root account. Now it's showing two users and two groups. If you want, you can delete users from here. Delete user. Yes, delete. Now you can delete groups as well. HR group, group actions, delete group. So if I'm clicking this, yes, delete, it's gone. So we have seen how to create users, how to create groups, and how to attach policy with a group. And then finally we accessed AWS console using the newly created users. See, so you are not authorized to describe running instances, you are not authorized to describe Elastic IP, so we are getting all unauthorized because we have removed the policies, and by default you are not granted with any permission. So this is in accordance with least privilege. I mean, permission should be given. Thank you. See you in the next lecture.